Welcome to another episode of the Holistic Sister Circle. Today we have Adonica Albert here with us, and Adonica is based in Alberta, has over 30 years in the fitness industry, holding a degree in arts with a major in physical education. She specializes in diverse fitness areas. 2 years ago, she co-founded a red light therapy business offering innovative health solutions for various ailments and prevention. Adonica, we're so grateful to have you today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome. And one of the things I just love about Adonica anyway, is her spirit.
Oh,
Super bubbly, super warm. And I know this is going to be a great conversation. And I don't know if you all are familiar with this topic or not, but I had never heard of red light therapy until recently. So I'm excited to get into it with Adonica today. And for us to just really start off, Adonica, I would love for you to just share a little bit about your background, some of the things that I left out or you
oh.
just aren't on the internet. Would love to know
Okay.
if you
Sure.
care to share with us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Like you said, I've been a personal trainer for the longest time, and I dedicate myself to be healthy and fit, even though you go through the change of life of menopause and stuff happens to your body. Um, what I love about the fitness industry is that it's for everybody. And when I first got into it, I just wanted to get fit and explore the fitness industry. At that time, I started having health issues. So, you know, my story, I've had a couple strokes and I've had knee replacements. I've had cancer. The list goes on. I'm a lemon right from the get go, lemon, lemon, lemon. And it's just no matter what, but staying active and being fit was the forefront of me. And people would always say, Jesus, I can't believe you're running, or I can't believe you're walking or doing stairs or working out. You've been through so much. But I knew that the body needed to move, and I knew that I needed to move to be healthy. And that's my soul. It's get moving, get healthy, stay active, be alive. I love it. That's all I do. I do. And now with this new business, I'm so super excited to share.
Yes, I love this. And how did you find red light therapy? What's the connection between just your previous lifestyle and business and fitness and now going into red light therapy? Was there any resemblance of them playing a part together?
Not really. I had after COVID, my gym got shut down. Doing any personal training got shut down, and I was kind of looking for something. At the same time, I had a knee replacement, so I dabbled in multi-level marketing out of my bed. And I was on LinkedIn one day, and a friend of mine kind of said, I haven't seen you in a long time. Do you want to chat?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she introduced me to red light therapy. Yeah, and then I rabbit hole, here we came. My girlfriend and I sat down and said, let's go down the rabbit hole, do the studies. And the studies were like kind of new, kind of old and new because it's been around so long. But we kind of just thought this is something the world needs to see and the world needs to hear about, because it's it's unbelievable what's happened out here with people with doing red light therapy, not just with my light, with all the lights out there. Yeah, absolutely.
And what got you excited about it? Just knowing that it was something new, knowing you never heard of it before, like what really stood out to you about it?
Well, we decided to just Google one problem I have. That's my stroke. And
Okay.
I've had 3, so we thought I knew how my body was reacting. As I was aging, and I'll just say I'm 59 coming up, and I knew 2 years ago that I wasn't living my best life because I was tired all the time. I was not feeling right in my body. There was things happening. And yes, menopause played a part, but I knew that this was more stroke related because my background and the research that I have done. And so my friend Chris, who's my business partner, said, let's just do your strokes, because my mom and dad have had a couple, a couple. And I thought, wow, this is interesting, because if we can really get into the brain, then can you imagine what's out there? So we dove deep, and we found a study out of Australia where a woman had studied red light therapy and Parkinson's disease, which has kind of become very out there with Michael J. Fox having it, right? And if she had showed that it actually started to change the cellular development of Parkinson's disease in the brain. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. If it's doing Parkinson's, let's dive into strokes. And the studies that came out were like crazy. It just blew my mind. And then I said, well, let's do this and then let's do that. And so I think what happened is that the studies out there just started to get me excited. And it's not just the studies coming from spas and people chiropractic. These are government studies. These are the you go in deep and you do the government studies. And we were getting excited and we said, we got something. We're on the brink of something. And so we decided to say, let's take a chance. And we did. And we
Wow.
did. Yeah.
That's amazing. What
Yeah.
kind with the so with your stroke and with red light therapy, what was some of the correlation with the studies that you saw that would help with strokes in general?
Well, you know that we're full of mitochondria. That's the powerhouse of the cell. And if that's biology 101, we're going back to grade 10, grade 9, biology 101. I know as we age, our mitochondria starts to slow down in production. So we age. And everything else starts to slow down. We're talking our collagen slows down. So what I wanted to do with these studies is try to figure out what's going to do to my head. And every time I looked at it, it was changing the cellular piece in my head. If you go with that, let's just say if I had brain plaque, it would help diminish the brain plaque, which is the brain fog. It's the covering of the brain because it's kind of like you don't take an X-ray of a brain, but when you see a brain, there's darkness around it, and that's kind of like a plaqueness of the brain. So I was curious about how it would start to make me feel cellular level because you could put your finger under the cut and visualize seeing it heal, but it was really hard to see the brain. And as I was studying all this, it was concussions that were coming out with NFL players. I was like, oh, concussions? I've had a couple. And what it had done is activated those dead cells and went, boom, energy. And they started working again. And that's what got me excited because I was thinking about me. And when I get tired, my symptom was I would slur my words. I would have to lie down. I was my mom would ask me, are you drunk? And it's 10 o'clock in the morning, Mom. I knew that something wasn't right. And I would get headaches a lot. And all of a sudden, when I started doing the study, the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, is igniting and it's doing its work, giving it the chemistry of the cell, some energy, stuff's going to happen. And it started to happen. And that's what got me excited. And then all these studies started to come up because once you study one thing, they're listening. So it pops up. Everything pops up. And as we're talking about it now, things will pop up on my feed or something, right? So I got really excited about that, knowing I could help a lot of people. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we know where it started, how you got involved in it, can you share a little bit about what does it actually do?
Okay.
And what are the different forms of it, right? Because I've seen where
Yeah.
people have
Yeah.
a mask
Yeah.
and people are laying on a
Right.
table. Like there's so many
Yeah.
different types of
Yeah. There's
forms of red light therapy.
tons out there. So I'm gonna tell you that one of the things I got interested in is that again, science 9, grade 9, is photosynthesis. So you think of the sun, and the sun helps plants grow, right? Gives us what we need to breathe and all that great stuff. Well, we took the red light from the sun and harnessed it in a lamp. Ours is a lamp, an arc, like a lamp, a plasmic arc lamp. And what that did is kind of taking it out of the rainbow spectrum, the biggest light that will help penetrate the body 3 inches to hit the mitochondria. So you have to be really careful when you go out and look for red light therapy. When I saw the comparisons to photosynthesis, and I'm going to say the medical word for red light therapy, photobiomodulation, because when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, seriously, we're harnessing the light to heal our cells as well as what the sun does for plant cells. So it was kind of like crazy. So I had to look up a definition of photobiomodulation. So I broke it down to 3: photo meaning light, bio meaning cells, and modulation meaning change of cells. Change. And I was like, Yes, and it's been around since 1965 and before. So I kind of just sat back and went, wow. So now it's all starting to click with me. So when you think about it, it's we're healing from a cellular level. Now, out there, you have facial masks. Of course, they're going to help your skin, but they're not going to penetrate. They're going to help the dermal outside of the skin, like the wrinkles and all that great stuff. They kind of look creepy when you put them on. I was like, I've seen people. I'm like, whoa, you're creepy. They're not going to penetrate as much. You'll see other lights out there that you get off like from China. They're not going to penetrate as well. You need to do your research. You need to know what's going to get into that mitochondria area and start doing its magic. And that's the problem with the society. They're kind of it's an education that we have to actually teach people the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is super helpful. And speaking of the differences too, what are like I know for you in particular, you tested it just from like having your strokes, but
Mhm,
just from the clients that you've worked with
mhm.
and just maybe even some of your own experiences or from your
Right.
partner's experiences, what have you all seen that have really been the benefit of people going after red light therapy aside from the 2 that you just named? Like, are there some other
Oh,
like, maybe
yeah.
they're not, maybe they're in their early 30s or late
Yeah.
20s, like, why would they use red light therapy compared to
Mhm.
someone who may be a little bit more seasoned and may have gone through
Yeah.
some, medical
Mhm.
challenges?
Yeah. Well, right now they're talking about red light therapy being preventive for those seasoned before you get to that seasoned area. So you could
Okay.
be more preventive. So when you think about red light therapy, if you work the head or the wherever you want the red light therapy, if you do our light, it systematically works the whole body. It just isn't. If I put it on my head, it's going to work the whole body. It's not just going to work my head. It's systematically going to start firing up the mitochondria and start moving through the body because that's what our cells do. They move. They move through vessels and blood vessels. And the nice thing about our light is the nitric oxide that we is it's a gas in our body that helps move cells. It's ignited. So it actually relaxes our vessels and bloods to allow this movement to be created. But if you're in the youngin stage, and now like being at my age and seeing all the problems little kids have with asthma and food
Yeah.
allergies and all the gut issues they have and all the
Mhm.
joint issues, this is the best thing for them because it's easy squeezy. You lie under it for 20 minutes, you play on your phone, you listen to a podcast, and you're done. But a lot of young people have felt better afterwards, more energy to study because it gives you back that energy. Even though they have that energy, they just feel better. And then as you get older, we lose a lot of our energy, right? So sleep is one. So it helps with our sleep rhythm too, as well. So you could be like going and I don't have any problems. And the next day send me a text going, oh my God, I had the best sleep ever. So I knew he did something. So
Wow.
it all depends on the person, preventative, or you have something that needs to be healed. And that's the
Okay.
nice part about it. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is really helpful. And then I know you talked a little bit about just how your light is different
Yeah.
from the lights that are out
Yeah.
there. Can you share with us what does you like? Is your light? Can we take this home? Do we have to come to you? Like,
No.
what does that process look
Yeah.
like?
So the lights out there are LED, and you'll see them in panels. Like they're just little, like they look like Christmas lights. So that's what's out there right now, LED lights. And you've got enough power, intensity, and joules, and all the greats and the wavelengths, which is really super important. Yes, you're going to be paying an arm and a leg, lots of money for them. Our light is one light. It's a plasmic arc lamp. Now, this is the only one on the planet that we know of that has the power to penetrate the body 10 inches, I mean, not 10 inches, 3 inches, and have 10 wavelengths. You need to have that power. It is a hospital grade machine. It's FDA and Health Canada licensed. It is a big light. So it looks like a giant spotlight. You know the ones that I don't you don't have ice rinks outside. So you know the big spotlights that you see out like for construction at night, those kind of
It's
lights? It's
it's
kind
that
of
big.
Well, it's ours is only 100. Well, it gets that big. Ours is only
Okay.
178 inches squared, so it covers from my top of my head to my lower of my rib cage, and it's on a trolley, so you can move it around. That's why we moved around the massage table. Move, 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 and it gets bigger from then. We go right to a bed. Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So, but our
okay.
light's easier to change. It's just one bulb. You change it. When you have an LED light, if one goes out, you got to change all of them. And that can be costly. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those who are looking to like just looking into red light therapy, like how
Mhm.
can they work with you? How does this
Mhm.
process work? We have a lot of listeners too who are in the US. We literally have
Yeah.
listeners in 26 countries.
Wow.
But yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
what does that look like for them? How can they get a hold of your one light?
One light. We have actually
Yeah.
5 light. We have a chair too. We sit on our chair too for intimate health.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So that's kind of cool. I was actually, it was a fun, just side note. I was talking to my mom the other day. She has a chair. So I was talking to her while she was sitting on the light and FaceTiming me. I'm like, "You're on the chair, right?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm on the chair. I'll just talk to you for 10 minutes." I was like, well, I had my coffee this morning for the other 10 minutes. So like she was hilarious. But we're from Canada. So our company is from Canada. We ship everywhere. So which is really kind of nice. It's really nice to be able to do that. He's a wonderful man, and he's really, really backs his product 100%. And so on my website, you'll see products, and you can go through the products and see them. And if you have any questions, just send me an email. My email's right on the website. Yeah.
Perfect.
Or Chris. My girlfriend Chris is my business partner. She's wonderful too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is super helpful. Now, so okay, say if you've been using the red light therapy for a period of time, is this something that we should be using every day for long periods of time throughout the day or years at a time? Like,
So what
how does that work?
the
Mhm.
recommendation is 20 minutes a day, 40 minutes max. So you got to think of your body as an energy source. We're only allowed to have a certain amount of joules in our body. And 80% is it. So 80 joules is it. So our light after 20 minutes, I think we get 50 joules in our body, which anything after that, the body's like, oh, I don't need it. Here we go. It's kind of wasted. So we ask people to do 20-minute sessions. They can do a 40-minute session with a 4-minute break. So the light has to cool down. When you're at home, if it's there. You use it. I have one at my house, and I use I might not go under it for a week, but then I'll go under it. It just makes you feel good. When you first start, though, you want to make sure that you know why you're going under it. If it's preventive, that's great. If it's for an ailment that you have, then you have to be consistent. We ask you at our business, we ask you to come at least 3 to 2 times a week to start, and then it's a maintenance afterwards. So it's kind of like once your body says, "Oh my gosh, my gums are better," then we ask you just to come for a maintenance once or twice a month. Yeah. So you think about your cells; they never go backwards. They're starting to recreate, starting to grow, starting to go forward. Unless something tragically happens to your body, everything moves forward. It doesn't go backwards. So that's what's nice about this too, as well. Yeah.
Mm,
It's
I love
cellular.
this.
It's cellular. Come on, we're going
Like,
into the cells.
yeah,
And with
no, this
yeah, and with our light, if it's in a business, you don't have to stand there. You put them under the table with their clothes on, as little clothes as possible. You hit the 20-minute light, you leave the room and do whatever you have to do with anyone else, and they get up and go. Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. I love it. You see
Like
Chris
I
in
could
there.
I could tell too. I'm like, where's Chris at? Can she see your smile right
Oh,
now?
yeah. She just had surgery, so right now she's sitting on the lake. She had a female thing going on, so she had just had surgery yesterday. So I texted her this morning. She goes, "I'm having coffee on the chair and drinking her coffee."
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
yeah, I just love it. I love it so much. It's so funny.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
Amazing, amazing. Well, this has
yeah,
been such an incredible just conversation, Adonica, and it really gives us an opportunity to learn more about red light therapy. Like I said, we've never talked about it before. So you've given us so much value and we're super appreciative. And
you're
just
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
it's
having
wonderful. It's wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, until next time,
Yes.
we'll talk to you soon.
You betcha.
Queen, thank you so much for tuning in. It truly warms our heart that you're taking the time out of your day to connect with us. If you'd like to connect with our guests further, you can find their information located in the description section of this episode. And if you found this episode helpful, share with another queen. And don't forget to connect with the Holistic Sister Circle on Instagram and Facebook. And until next week, stay blessed,